Today we are going to accelerate your healing by entering monk mode. Whether you are healing physically, emotionally, mentally, or spiritually, healing is a journey inward, a transformation inward. And so while there is no quick, magic way to heal, there is a way that you can accelerate your healing. And the acceleration comes from turning deep inward. The reason why monk mode can accelerate your healing is because you're going deeper and more intense, faster, more focused, more concentrated, and getting to the heart of what it takes to truly heal and truly transform. So if you are ready for today's video, please give it a like, please consider subscribing, and let's get into it. To truly enter monk mode, you must get truly quiet on the inside, so as to self-reflect and turn all your energy and focus and attention inward. Monks who sit in meditation day after day, year after year, possess a secret that most of us are unable to access because we are unable to get still enough or go deep enough to do the true work of transformation. So the absolute very first step that you must do when entering monk mode is to get quiet, get still, and turn all your attention and focus inward. Now, it is not enough to turn all your focus inward if you don't know what you want and you don't know what you're trying to accomplish. If you clicked on this video, you want to heal. You want to heal physically, mentally, spiritually, emotionally, and you are ready to do whatever it takes to get there. So when you know what your goal is, healing, you become very focused on that one thing. And everything in your life centers around healing. Now, this does not mean pushing yourself to the brink with healing protocols, although there is and will be an element to that. But it is simply to remember that everything that you do, think, say, and take action on should all be centered around healing. And anything else that does not focus on the goal of healing should be cut, because we are getting very specific and very focused and very dialed in when we enter monk mode. And anything else that simply does not make the cut because it is not focused on healing must go. Some people take monk mode to an extreme, meaning they go rent a cabin in the woods, or they sell everything they own and move across the world to Bali. They completely cut themselves off from the outside world. They move somewhere completely new. Now, many of you won't be able to do this. And in truth, it's not necessary to do in order to enter monk mode. But for those of you who feel the calling to separate from your current environment by going somewhere deep in the woods or moving across the world to Bali, then follow your calling. Follow what you need to do in order to enter monk mode. Take 30 days off work. Rent an Airbnb away from your family and friends where you can be in solitude. Or yes, move across the world to Bali if that's what it takes. But the reason why people make these extreme moves is simply because when you leave everything you have, when you sell everything you own, when you move across the world, it's not Bali that heals you. It's the fact that no one there knows you. You have no responsibilities, no commitments, and there are no expectations placed upon you. You are fresh and free to focus inward without any consequences of judgment or disapproval, shame, guilt, or any other feeling, emotion, or weight or burden that rests heavily upon you that you feel very difficult to escape in your current life. But you actually don't need to move across the world. You can enter monk mode right where you are, because it's not about leaving your physical environment. It's about dissociating and leaving mentally, emotionally, and spiritually the environment in which you are in and going deep within. That can happen right here, right where you are in your own life. It's an internal shift, an internal focus, and an internal decision to let go of everything else that is weighing you down and doesn't focus or benefit your goal of healing. So once you get quiet, once you are focused on your goal of healing, and you cut ties with anything outside of yourself that distracts you from the goal at hand, from the healing at hand, then we turn our attention inward. Now, if you commit to this for 30, 60, or 90 days, you are going to see and feel a massive change in your healing. But often it takes more than 30, 60, or 90 days of internal healing work, even on monk mode. This journey can take a year. This journey can take 2 or 3 years. But the journey inward, the self-reflection inward, the cutting off giving your energy to anything else other than the self, serving the healing, focusing on the self, the internal, the growth that is required to heal. Eventually you will reach an internal place of self-actualization, of healing, of growth. And it is at this point in your hero's journey, in your transformational arc, that you will once be able, again, to re-engage with the rest of the world, to take on responsibilities and new goals that have nothing to do with healing. Because as we go inward, so eventually we must come outward, re-engage with the world once again, and find the balance of the self and the world around us and others. This is when we see people grow, expand, reach goals, attract new loves into their life, new and better relationships, careers and financial decisions, travel, take up hobbies, really engage in the world around them with this new sense of self and freedom as they find a balance between giving to the self and giving to the outer world. And this is a journey that you cannot put a time frame on. But if you want to accelerate your healing, then monk mode is the fastest way to get you there, because you are cutting off everything else that is not important and going inward, faster, deeper, with more focus, dedication, and energy. And this is where we can see and tangibly feel changes and shifts in our life. So once you are focused inward, there are some non-negotiable things that you must put on your list during this 30, 60, 90 healing focused monk mode time period. This is committing to a master plan that will accelerate your healing over this time frame. The non-negotiable things that you must do are to truly dial in your foundations of health. And the core of these foundations are going to be diet, sleep, exercise, breathing, and meditation. These 5 things are the non-negotiable things that you are going to be solely focused on over the next 30, 60, or 90 days. You must put these 5 things at the center and the top and the only thing on your list, for they each have a purpose on moving you forward to reaching your goal of healing. In monk mode, you're going to put sleep first. You are going to be allowing yourself 10 hours of sleep minimum per night. You will climb into bed at 8 p.m. every single night and start your sleep routine. You cannot force yourself to fall asleep, of course, but you will be prepared in bed, breathing and meditating yourself into a beautiful, deep, and restful sleep every day. Anytime after 6 a.m. in the morning, you will wake slowly, breathing and meditating and ready to start your day. This period of being and laying in bed will be 10 to 12 hours a day. It seems extreme, but that's what monk mode is. In order to accommodate this, you will not be watching any TV shows in the evening. You will not be on your device or scrolling your devices. You will go off all social media. You will disappear from all electronics, except those necessary for healing. You will put your energy solely on healing, and you will commit to this deep sleep routine. Next, you will focus on diet. And this isn't a video on diet. If you want a video on diet, you can go watch the many that I have. You choose the diet that is best for you, the diet you feel most aligned with. We are going to eat one food. That one food is soup. It starts with broth and meat stock from grass-fed meats. You are going to boil whole chicken, a whole carcass of beef in water for a few hours, letting it simmer, letting the meat fall off the bones, and you are going to drink and eat this meat broth every single day for breakfast, lunch, dinner, and that is the only thing that you will eat. If you are carnivore, if you are keto, you can add low-carb vegetables to this meat and broth stock. If you are paleo, you can add paleo-type vegetables to this meat and broth. If you are vegan, you will make a vegan soup. If you are raw vegan, you will have the same juice and smoothie every single day. You're going to pick this food because it's easy, it's simple, and it takes the distraction out of cooking, shopping, eating, and it focuses down to the basics of what you need to heal. It will be the same thing every day for the next 30 to 60 days. You will eat it whenever you are hungry. You won't think about it, you won't worry about it, and you will probably only need to make a new batch of soup every week. This is the diet you are going to commit to for the next 30, 60, or 90 days. It is an extremely healing diet, no matter what particular diet you are on, and the simplicity is something necessary for monk mode. Next, you are going to commit to walking every single day in nature for an hour or two walk without music, without your headphones, just you in nature. If you're bedbound, if you simply can't go out that long, you'll sit outside for the exact length of time and just breathe the fresh air and imagine yourself walking. If you cannot do it physically, you will do it mentally. You will set the time aside to perform this walk mentally. You can close your eyes, you can breathe the fresh air, and you can imagine yourself walking in the forest along the route. You can set a timer and do it for 1 to 2 hours. So no matter what stage you are at, you are going to commit to this walking every single day for 1 to 2 hours. Next is breathing. You're going to focus on your breathing, deep breathing in and out. There are many different breathing videos that you can follow along with. You can do alternate nostril breathing, many different yogic type breathings. You can do Bottego breathing. There are many different healing types of breathing. You're going to pick a method and you're going to focus on it for an hour every single day. And lastly, meditation. You're going to be sitting in a formal meditation for a minimum of 1 hour a day. If you really want to go extreme monk mode, you can sit in meditation for 1 hour a day, several times a day, morning, midday, and at night, so that you're doing 3, 4, 5 hours of meditation. Many people are simply not sure what to do during meditation. So if you need some guided meditations to start you off with, I have many on this channel. But after a week of guided meditations, you're going to begin to sit in solitude with yourself. During this time period, you're going to focus inward on the deep healing work that is necessary. When you are in communion with yourself, when you are focused deeply inward, when you are in silence and have removed all distractions, we are focused on awareness itself, the awareness of self, the awareness of your true self, that you are not the body, that you are not the mind, that you are not the emotions, that you are the witness to all of this. And we sit in meditation as the witness, as the awareness, and we practice deep allowing. This is the beginning of inner work. And while we might not be doing the focus practices of shadow work or brain retraining or inner child work or journaling or somatic tracking or trauma work, while we may not be using tools and techniques to achieve this deep healing work, by sitting, by allowing, and by becoming the awareness, we are actually doing it all. For when we are with ourselves, and we are sitting with awareness itself, and we are aware of the trueness and the stillness, that we are connected directly to God. This is when our innermost thoughts and feelings arise. And all we need to do is meet them, is to allow them to be there. Whether it's a sensation in our body, we meet it. Whether it's a deep emotion coming up, we meet it. Whether it's a thought going round and round in our head, we meet it with self-love and self-compassion, gentle presence, and full allowing. We meet it with deep self-compassion. We meet it with deep self-love. And we meet it with unconditional presence and allowing. Everything that needs to come up will rise. All of the thoughts, all of the feelings, all of the emotions, and all of the sensations. And you will meet it with love and deep allowing. And when we begin to realize that we are not those things, we can start and begin to access the soul. When we can meet all of these things as the soul connected directly to God, Source, the universe, we begin to transform and we begin to heal. And if you focus on this deeply for the next 30, 60, 90 days, you will accelerate your healing in ways you never thought possible. Now, if you work, if you have family, if you have children, if you're not able to enter monk mode, you can still enter monk mode in your mind, in your heart, in your spirit, even when you are going through your daily routine. You can stay silent. You can talk less. You can focus inward more. When you're done work, when the children are in bed, when you get those hours to yourself, you can still sit in deep meditation. You can still accomplish everything it requires to be in monk mode. Whether you are able to set aside work, to delegate responsibilities to others for the next 30 days, or to go rent yourself a private space, or even move across the country to Bali or that place that is calling to you. Monk mode is not about the external or where you are. Monk mode is what happens on the internal. So I hope you've enjoyed today's video. If you receive value from it, please give it a like and hit subscribe. I want to thank you for spending your valuable time with me today. I am sending you all love and deep healing, and I will see you in the next video.